Good day, race fans. Welcome to Sim Racing Mania Round 3 of their GT3 Championship. I know we're looking at the side of a building at the moment. Let me find a car that's actually on track because everybody's in the pit lane. Before we get into all of the racing and stuff, we'd like to thank our sponsors, the F&40s podcast. Leanne and her group down there are amazing. I listened to one of them last night, actually. Super awesome if you want to just know some random happenings or the fun happenings and all that good stuff around. I can't remember, do they talk about all of Alberta or is it just everything? Yeah. Hence the F&40s. Yeah, I couldn't remember if it was all international or just Calgary-based because I listened to one about the music group last night. Don't ask me to recall what it was because I can't remember. But awesome. And then our other sponsor, Hotel Blackfoot. If you guys are staying in the Calgary, Alberta area, definitely recommend going down to see. Go down and stay in Hotel Blackfoot. Awesome rooms. Yes. Talk to Jane. Our contact there, she's great, and as Howard just said, you guys probably just heard it, they're 5 minutes up the road, not even, so, yeah. And then also, I'm told to shout out myself. I run my own little chainmail business or whatever, where I make custom chainmail things, so bracelets, necklaces, little like statue type things. I have a pig and a dash hound sitting on my desk at home. And I do like inlays. I made our Tracksvr logo. I made one that's sitting up front, so anybody that's come down has actually seen it. And yeah, definitely go check me out. It's the Ring King Custom Chainmail on Facebook and Instagram. I don't have a TikTok yet, but I will be getting there, so definitely go check me out. We'll check out my stuff, and yeah, I appreciate it, and would love to hear from you. Now, let's get into the fun stuff. Okay, so like I said, we're at Oulton Park. 75-minute race as per usual. Round 3. It's a 4.3 kilometer track or 2.69 miles for those of you who use miles. In Cheshire, England. 11 corners. It's not like a super... I mean, unlike Le Mans, it's not really long, but there are a couple of really technical areas, like the 2 chicanes on the back straight there, the hairpin at the end, the little dangly bit at the top. Like, there's going to be some good passing zones, and it's going to be, I think it's going to be the long corners, as people are braking and going a little bit wide, missing their braking points, etc., etc. Also, from last race, we have no incident reports. Unless I'm reading this wrong. Round 1 Laguna Seca, Round 1 Le Mans, there's no incident reports. Just a couple people getting warnings. Nothing major after Le Mans, so that's always good. Now, as we all know, the stream went down, or the server went down last week. So we do have a little bit of a change in the season standings here. Anti-Rassi has taken first place. Only got half points though. We took it, or the stewards decided to take race standings from. They decided to take race standings from lap 12, which was about, I think it was a lap and a half or 2 laps before the server crash. So where you were at that point, you got half points. For anybody, I think there was 3 or 5 disconnected drivers all at once, like 2 laps before that. They only got 25% of the points they would have had at the time that they finished. So like Tomas has 15.25 points. That's because he got 25%. And then Anti-Rassi only got 50% of his points, so he's only got 30, etc., etc. It did help move Colin up 2 points, or I think he went up 2 spots because he was in 9th. And then we got Jackaboy. Where is he? Jackaboy actually got bumped down a spot just because of the way the points worked for him. It just kind kind of screwed him up a little bit, but that's okay. Things happen, can't complain. He's still in a very good spot, top 15, so that's awesome. And then as we go down here, we got Andy Birch, who has driven real race cars. He's in 21st, got a couple points spots as he got points in round 2. And then all these guys at the bottom are people that haven't finished in the points or have been DC'd multiple times or whatever. It's a royal pain in the butt. But we do have 37 drivers today, and I do believe I saw a couple of new guys. So it's gonna be fun to see how we do in that regards. Colin sets a 131.5, putting him on provisional pole. Why is my tower not showing up? There it is. Colin gonna be on provisional pole, and Jackaboy did a 32.3 on his last lap. So currently sitting 6th, but we do have a lot of people that are out on track. One of them being Pedro Gomez. He's got a purple first sector in that BMW. Let's see how he can progress from there. Colin only a tenth and a half down of first place. That's a really good lap time. There was a little bit of rain in practice, so the track I think is a little bit damp or got a little bit damp, but it started. I'm assuming it's starting to dry out now because they're doing 31s again. So. Being England, there is a lot of rain all the time over there, as we all know from just watching the real life races. There's always rain. But it's going to be sporadic today, I think. We looked at the forecast, going off of real life forecast, and it's going to be very sporadic with rain if we get any during the race. And Pedro does a 31.6. That's going to put him half a tenth in front of Colin. So 0.05 in front of Colin, which is not bad. Lots of fast drivers out there. Oh, shite. There's Tomas. That's the one I wanted to go watch. And then Tomas in his Porsche 911 there. I found out he has a very interesting love affair with that car. They were sending me some very disturbing images of that car in particular in the Discord chat. So I'm gonna embarrass Tomas. Anti-Rassi was the same. I'm gonna embarrass the 2 future car members just a little bit with their very disturbing love affair with their Porsche 911. I think they drove this car last season too, so they're very, very dedicated to this car. I hope they're that dedicated in their everyday relationships as well, not just the car. Hopefully. We don't know. As Tomas comes across the line with a 131.6. Looks like there's going to be a lot of people in that range there. Colin, the top 3. Oh, Ben coming out with a 30.9. Holy, that's a howler of a lap. Let's watch Nizio. He was also very quick in practice. The one that we watched have a battle with Michael Brooks last week at Le Mans, so it's gonna be interesting to see how he does and if we can have any other good battles with the 2 of them. Also, Michael Brooks has let me know that he's very tired. He's had a long work week, and he said he might crash. So if we do see it on stream, feel free to laugh. I already told him if I catch it on stream, I will be laughing at him because he's already warned me about it. So feel free to laugh. He will be okay with it, I'm sure. Only a couple more guys going out. Jack Shormania in the Corvette and Andre Kananowicz are out there doing their outlaps at the moment. So just a couple more guys to set lap times, and then we'll head into warm-up and then head into the race. The gap between 29th and 28th is 1/1000th of a second. Johan Carlson did a 33.941, and it can't even track the .001 because it's not actually a .001. And Dino Faldetta did the exact same lap time. So they're like half of a 1,000th, so a 10,000th of a second apart. That's stupid. On a track like this, it's every little bit counts. So far, everybody putting in some solid lap times here. Colin has been moved down to provisional 7th. We're going to see how Jack and Andre do and see where that puts everybody. Where's our Jackaboy here? Jackaboy is provisionally 12th at the moment. That's pretty good considering I think in practice he was sitting about 14th. So he has improved. Track is also, like I said, dried up quite a bit. That 30.9 clearly shows that, because holy, that's a hell of a lap. And we've already had a couple DQs. I don't know if that's because they went over their laps. I'm going to assume it's probably because they went over their allotted laps. Remember, they're only allowed to do 3 total laps in qualifying, meaning 1 out lap coming out of the pit lane, driving around the track before it retires, 1 flying lap, the lap that's actually going to set your lap time, and then 1 cool down lap or in lap, where you basically just putt around the track and come back into the pit lane and then escape yourself into the loading screen or menu screen, I guess. But it's going to be a very interesting race. 37 drivers and a very tight track. In most areas, it's really only wide enough for about 2 cars to go down the track, so people are really going to have to pay attention. Tracksvr Mania is going to be 18th, and Andre's going to be coming across the line here in a second. He's got 1 more corner. And he's going to be coming back up the hill to come across the line. See the sparks pop out of that back end. Yep. And how is he going to do a 33.5? So that's going to put him in 25th. Alrighty. Looks like we got some fans of Renegade and that big boatly of Mada in there. So we're going to see how that all works out. Alrighty. So, starting order. Get rid of my tower, please. Thank you. Ben Skulian in first. Michael Nitzio in second. Nikolai Bezrikov third. And Matteo Vernol in fourth, taking up your first 2 rows. Pedro Gomez in 5th. Thomas Golab in 6th. Colin Sanders in 7th. Mada in 8th. That's your next 2 rows. And you can see the cars. Colin has done some work for me and actually got the car liveries up there. Roman, who's a new driver, Valentin Iliev, Jordan Schwartz, and Jack Trewick, marking out your next 2 rows. Anti-Rassi, Camille, Dust. Ooh, Dastin's able to race today. Awesome. Michael Brooks, who we're hoping might crash because we would love to see somebody spin out. Andy Birch, Jack Germania, Dennis Vandevin. Actually, has Dennis raced this month? Vitaly Vitt have all round out the next 2 rows. That's your top 10 rows. Marco Fortuna, Josh Vanderstern in row 11, Colin 4th, and Jonas Logson in row 12. As you see the drivers pulling out of the very crowded garage. Andre Kananowicz, Rafa Nizio, Paolo Nucci, and Flavio Azzori taking up the next 2 rows there for 13 and 14. Arcturus and Dino Feldetta in row 15. Johan Carlson and Massimo Sorelli in row 16. We should have a few more rows left, I think. Antonello Mastro, Valerio Margarito in row 17. Andrea Zampini and JJ Mistral in row 18. And we should have 1 more driver left. Francesco Bonardi taking up the last row all in his lonesome. And in that white and black livery R8. Well, on that note, guys, I am going to go take a quick break. I'll let you guys go have a break as well quickly here, and then we'll be right back. So as the driver's just out doing some warm-up, rubbering the track a little bit more. Hang on, thanks for joining the chat, dude. I just found out Colin literally just let me know that you race with him on Wednesdays, so I now have somebody that I can kind of put a name to the face, in a sense, I guess. But yeah, Oulton Park, it's going to be fun. 11 corners, very tight, very close quarter racing. We will definitely see what's going to happen. And because it's not a wet race, unlike Le Mans, this Colin goes a little bit wide there, using all the AstroTurf. Unlike Le Mans, where they were allowed to only use one set of tires because it was deemed a wet race, Oulton Park has been deemed dry. So we are full on. The drivers have to use 2 sets or 2 compounds of tires. You're not allowed to have 2 compounds on at the same time. So, whoa, that was close. So no medium and hards on at the same time. You have to have all mediums or all hards or whatever. And you have to use 2 compounds during the race. So 1 set of mediums and 1 set of hards, regardless. Also, there are success ballast penalties, if you want to call it a penalty, added to these following drivers. Anti-Rassi has 40 kilograms. Tomas has 25 kilograms. Andrea Zampini and Ben Sculian both have 10 kilograms each. And our boy Colin Sanders has a 5 kilogram success ballast, which is not going to shouldn't do that much. 1 kilogram of weight is only like 0.03 of a second difference in lap time, so it'll only be worth like 1.5 tenths, which is really not that much of a difference. But we will see. It's all going to come down to pit strategy. It looks like it's starting to rain. Let's go on board with Colin here. He's got his wipers on. Where's our boy Colin here? Where is he? Yeah, it looks like it's starting to rain again as we're on board with Colin. So it's gonna be an interesting race. They will definitely be able to go out on, I'm gonna say probably mediums, because the softs will wear out really fast. And if they can keep a dry racing line, then they might work for a good portion of the race until it starts to rain heavy. But it rained like this in practice, so I think it'll do the same. It's not too bad yet. A couple people having to get back into the server, and they've been told to wait until warm-up started, so we shouldn't have any glitches come race time when people load in. Pit lane on this track is going to be very interesting. I counted the pit stalls that the track has, and there's only 15. We have 37 drivers. That is going to cause for some interesting pit incidents, if you want to call them that. As you were watching when they loaded into the warm-up, as we're getting people loading into the race, or into the warm-up. As you saw when the warm-up started and all the drivers loaded onto the track, as I was going through the starting grid, there was a car in the garage and then a car right in front of them outside of the garage. That's because there's not enough garage stalls for drivers. So it's gonna be very interesting when it comes to pitting. Oh, Colin off track, don't hit the wall. Oh, he escaped before he hit the wall. Like look at how crowded the pit lane's gonna be. It's gonna be very interesting to see. Well, I guess, oh no, I counted these spaces between the 2 yellow marks. So there's 15 of those, but if there's 2 for each, there's 30 people. So it shouldn't be too bad. Okay, it shouldn't be too bad. There should be 2 stalls per thing, but we will have to see when we get there. Mada for all those people cheering him on. We'll give him a little bit of screen time in the warm-up here before the race starts. Very, very good driver in that Boatley. The only Boatley out there in this season. I think there was 2 last season, I think. And this season there's only 1, just like there's only 1 Mercedes. Everybody opting for the Corvette or the Ferrari or the Porsche. Or the Audi. And the BMW. Jesus. Yeah, so BMW, Corvette, Porsche, Ferrari are your top 4 chosen cars in this series. Or this season, I guess. With the only the only Mercedes and the only Boatley right there hanging out together. So it's going to be an interesting race. I'm looking forward to how it's gonna go. I know Dino was already like, this is gonna be interesting because they thought it was gonna be raining hard. The other day we looked at the forecast and it said it was supposed to rain really hard all day today at Oulton Park, and today when we all looked, it's changed that a little bit. So hopefully there's some rain to add a little bit of craziness to it, but if not, I just hope we see a lot of craziness like we did in the mall. And go from there. Colin still, is Jackaboy gone back out? Nope, Jackaboy's there. Look at how crowded this garage is, you guys. Like, this is a nightmare. Like, it's so crowded. And now I gotta go through because it's warm-up's over, so we're gonna be going to the race quickly here. Diving into the pit lane is Zampini. Here we go. Just turn that volume down a little bit because he's very loud, that guy. And then we'll turn this back up. We're gonna go on board with, where's Jackaboy here? We're gonna go on board with Jackaboy, and we're gonna get an onboard cam when we actually everybody goes out on track. So as you can see, they have about 40 seconds to hit the drive button. If you don't hit the drive button, you start from the garage or pit lane, one of the two. But we're gonna ride on board Jackaboy for the first few corners to see all the hecticness, and we'll follow him for the formation lap as well. They, as like the other races, or the last 2 races, we do a formation lap and then it's a rolling start. So you can see Colin's car up there just a couple rows ahead. Jack, both of them having very good qualifying. So let's go racing. Here we go. Formation lap has started. Turn 1 is going to be very interesting, as it is a relatively high-speed corner. And they're going to be coming in 2 wide, probably 3 wide. People are going to be bailing, I'm sure of it. But it's going to be interesting, to say the least here. Let's do this. Let's ride right on board with Jackaboy. Hang out with Jack for a bit. I hope everybody's having a good Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on where you are in the world. Looks like there's a little bit of sync issues with some of the cars up ahead, but I hope everybody's having a good Tuesday or Wednesday morning. If it's Wednesday where you guys are, it's only 2 p.m. On Tuesday where I am, so for some of you guys it's probably like 2 a.m. over. I mean, if you're in England, you're probably like 9 or 10 p.m. and then anybody that's beyond them is probably like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning-ish. So if it is, good on you guys for being up that late or early on a weekday to do some racing. The chicanes are going to be fun on the first lap, I think. Gotta be respectful. So Jackaboy is lining up beside Jordan Schwartz. in that that future red car. All right, here we go. A couple more corners, and then it's go time. As the safety car is going to start grouping everybody up a little bit closer together. Hear that Porsche beside Jack's Corvette. All right, here we go. Let the shenanigans commence. Oh, everybody brake checking. Holy. All right, here we go. Off to the races. Yeah, very bunched up for turn one. Is there crashes ahead? Nope, doesn't look like it. A couple cars off track already. Jacoboy holding his spot in 12th place there, and Colin actually holding his spot in 7th place, so both of them doing well. Oh, one of the future cars, that's got to be Tomas off in the grass there. Oh, no way. That, I do believe, was Anti-Rassi going off track and then having a dangerous re-entry straight on the track, but that is okay. Actually, it might have been, no, it's Tomas that had the dangerous re-entry. It's okay, it's starting to spread out down the road a little bit, or up the road, I guess. I'm going to turn the cars down a little bit, because holy, they are loud. I was like, you guys could barely hear me, I'm sure. What a hectic start that was already. Colin putting on the pressure early, getting a much better exit than Pedro coming out of that corner. Let's go back with, where's Jack Boy here? Jack unlucky, getting spun all the way around. Jacobo a little bit of defending there, trying to keep dust down behind him. Well done. Francesco Bernardi and Antonello Mastro going at it. The McLaren versus the R8. Let's see how they go into turn two. A little bit of paint trade in there going to turn two. R8, Pat making the move around the outside. Very well done. A little bit iffy on the bumping and grinding there, but that's all right. Dino in the Dino car. The Dino Ferrari. Here we go. Couple of Team Future Porsches going up against some BMWs here. We have Dennis Van Vin and Tomas. In the Team Future going up against newcomer Roman and Vitaly Witt in the, or no, Vitaly Witt and Josh Van der Stern, sorry, in the BMWs just in front of the Team Future Porsches. So. Good little four-way battle. Ben Sculian's kind of just driven away from everybody, whereas Colin's got a nice little battle with Pedro on his hands still. And then Madaw's not far away, less than a second behind them. Michael Brooks side by side going into turn two with Anti-Rassi right in front of him, holding him up just a little bit. Now going to take evasive action, that's okay. Now he's got a Corvette alongside of him. This is a good little battle. That's a good train of cars too. Holy, there's what, 7 of them in there, I think I counted? Yeah, that's Camille and Michael going at it, the two Ferraris. Camille being Michael Nitzio's teammate from Le Mans, who Michael Brooks actually battled with for a good like 4 laps, and we watched it until the server crashed. But so far, Michael Brooks a little bit slow coming out of the chicane. Don't know if he just had a bad entry or what. There's going to be lots of battles on this track. It's super tight, and it's not very long, so guys aren't going to get spread out as fast. Jackaboy is right on the tail of Johan Carlson. He's got Dastan hot in his heels. Dastan actually being able to race this week. He's missed the first 2 rounds, so he's hoping to put in a good points finish. Trying to poke his nose up the inside. Jack doing a very good job of covering off the apex there. Go a little bit farther up the road. Teammates going at it in the R8s, like 2 spots ahead of Jackaboy there, with Dino in front of them. Lots of little packs starting to form. There's so many cars on track. Colin's got, Pedro's gotten back past Colin. They're still in a fight though. They're pulling away from Ada a little bit. That gap now up to 0.9 seconds. Oh, Michael Nitzio's caught up to, he's caught the leader, he's caught Ben Schooley, and it's going to be a nice little battle between these two for first place. Oh no, Jack Germania already DNF'd. Oh, Madaw's catching up to Colin now. I wonder if Colin's just backing off to let his tires cool off a little bit. Camille is caught right up to Anti-Racing now. They're kind of, these two are kind of pulling away from Michael Brooks behind them. Such a short track compared to Le Mans. My brain is like, I don't know what to do. 2 McLarens going at it. I don't know if these guys are teammates or not. Jackaboy having some good racing here. Destin managed to get past Jack. Driving very aggressively in that Aston Martin. It's very early in the race to be driving that aggressively, especially depending on the tires you're on. You don't want to be pushing too hard too soon. Dino is right on the back end of Colin fourth in that Porsche in front of him. See if he can make a move coming into the next couple corners. There's not a lot of room to get a draft either. The straights aren't super long. There's only one good straight that you actually are able to get somewhat of a slipstream, but nothing too major. Arcturus Kamal is slowly catching up to Palanucci there in front of him. That R8. Ooh, Andy Birch. Pixel Tracksvr. Oh, Camille's in the pit lane. Vitali is still holding strong in front of Joss there. The battle for first is starting to heat up. They are pulling away. They have a 4-second gap to third place, so they have a little bit of breathing room where they can just push and pull away from each other. Oh. Jack is not having a good race. Getting pushed around a little bit. Lots of close little battles going on here. Ooh. catching up under braking. That Audi really pulling up some distance. Oh, is he gonna look? No, he's just taking a peek. Oh, the Corvette having a little bit of a bobble coming out of the hairpin. That's an easy pass for Francesco Bernardi there. Jonas Lagesson here, catching up to the McLaren of Andre Kananowicz. Oh, there's a battle on behind him. Let's go look. Too wide. Rafa Nizio making the pass on the inside of the last corner. And that's allowing the R8 of Flavio Azzori to make the pass on the inside as well on Andy Birch. Just having a really bad exit out of last corner is really going to hinder your straight line going into turn 1. Colin Sanders. Colin's losing a little bit of time with the guys in front. I don't know if he's fuel saving or tire saving or what, but he's not lost a lot of time. Madaw's keeping that same gap to Colin. Matteo Vernol is catching up, trying to pull up on Nikolai Bezrukov there in that Mercedes. Starting to spread out a little bit now. Everybody's starting to find their groove and starting to kind of spread out. Nothing major going on at the moment. Dino is still in the tail end of Colin fourth. He's not letting him get out of his sights. Backing off a little bit, but he's not going away. Not anytime soon, by the looks of it. And then a little bit further up the road, I'm going to wait for turn 2, see if Dino can make a move. A little bit too much curb on the inside. Not just a little bit too far away. All right, we're going to go up a little bit farther up the road here. Nice little group of cars starting to form again. Massimo Sorelli in a nice little battle for P22. A nice little BMW and Audi sandwich. When the American car is sandwiched between two German cars. Fun. How's that battle for the lead? Oh, it looks like Schooling's pulling away a little bit from Michael Nizio there. And Madaw is caught up to Colin now. He's about 4/10 behind. And they're also allowing Jordan Schwartz to catch up a little bit here too. So this is going to be a three-way battle for 6th place pretty quick. Colin's doing good though. I think he's just managing the gap. He's not pushing hard, trying to save some tire, trying to save some fuel. As they are losing a little bit of time to Pedro in front of them, so it is definitely looking like a fuel saving / tire saving strategy on Colin's part. Matteo pulling up on, I don't know, he's keeping about the same gap. It was about 6/10 before. He's keeping the same gap. Driving is kind of calmed down a little bit. There's not a lot going on. Jos van der Stern in that bright orange BMW is finally caught up to Vitaly Witt again. And they have Dennis Van de Ven in that Team Future car behind him. What happened to Tomas? Tomas must have gone in the pits because he's all the way back down to 35th. All the early shenanigans giving him a little bit of damage, deciding to pit early, get rid of it and come out with some clean air maybe. It's a really short track, so technically you're not going to get that much clean air for very long. You probably get half a lap of clean air, depending on where he comes out. Michael Brooks just farther up the road is catching up to his teammate. I say that in quotations because, I mean, it's Team Future Red versus Team Future, so technically they're same team but different teams at the same time. But yeah, Colin falling back from Pedro, but he's now pushing and pulling away from Mada, so I think everybody's just decided that we got to tire save a little bit. This track is very difficult on your tires. We're about 15 minutes in, so we're about 10 laps in. It doesn't give me a lap count, so I think we're about 10 to 12 laps in. Considering Le Mans at this point, we were what, 2? For the length of track. Everybody's starting to spread out. Everybody's finding their groove, finding their rhythm. Michael hasn't spun out yet. Being tired, he's gone 15 minutes and he hasn't spun out yet. So well on him. Maybe he took my advice in the Discord the other day to have a beer before the race. Help settle your nerves. Although it might make him fall asleep faster. Let's go, guys. Jonas Logston is holding off Francesco Bernardi. Francesco making his way through the pack. He's gained a few positions since the start of this race. He's really pushing. That's right on board. You can see the Ferrari of Rafa Nizio just up the road there too. I just think that's him. I think that's him, yes. We might... Back markers are going to start to be a thing soon. Not yet, but soon. Another couple laps and we'll start having some back markers show up, but... Where's Jack Boy? Jack Boy's kind of all... Whoa! Going off track. A little bit of tire, a little bit of bumper rub. A little bit of bumper rub, but Nizio going way off track. I don't know if he just forgot his braking point or if he decided to just hit the grass and then brake. I don't know. But he didn't lose too much. He only lost 2 spots. And about half a second to these guys, but nothing major. It's easy to make up from there. Go on board Josh van der Sturen. And that bright orange. I'm so glad he made it not chrome. 2 BMWs going at. They are pulling away from Van de Ven behind them. I don't know if he's just not got the pace this season in that Porsche, or if all the new guys have got lots of pace and he just hasn't done enough practice. But Josh van der Sturen and Vitaly Vid have been about the same gap for the last 10-15 minutes of this race. They haven't gained, they haven't lost time. As we go on board with Michael Brooks, he's right on the tail end of Anti-Rassi here. Oh, he does a peek, gives him a little bit of a love tap. Yeah, letting him know that, hey, I'm your teammate, but I'm not afraid to battle here. That was good. Actually, he lost more. It hurt him more than it hurt Anti-Rassi because he had to slow it right up. But it looks like he does catch him in the braking zone. At least for the first chicane. Let's see if it happens again for this chicane. Yeah, he does gain on him a little bit in the braking. So that's where Michael's going to be using to his advantage, using those braking zones. Biggest thing is follow your opponent for a few laps, see where they make mistakes, and then after a lap or two, you can find a way to capitalize on them. It's all about patience in racing. Let's go on board Jordan Schwartz, who's caught up to Mada Andinka there in that big boat lead. Oh, Mada having a little bit of a slow pull out of that corner. It's going to give Jordan a nice run. But he does make the smart choice and checks up coming into turn 1. Doesn't want to go too wide there and accidentally push him or Mada or both off track. Just keeping his position. And Colin Sanders is just up the road there. He's pulled out about a 1.5 gap to Mada and Jordan behind them. So he is doing well, but he is losing time to Pedro, who is actually pulled up right behind Mateo Vernol here in the last couple laps. Mateo doing a very good job of parking that R8 right in front of that BMW, not letting them get any good, clean driving line. Now we see Nikolai in that Mercedes just up the road. This is the battle for 4th place, and then 3rd is right there in front of them. Obviously, pit stops haven't really been a thing yet. We've only seen a couple people pit just for damage, but pit strategies will be starting to come into play probably in the next, if they can one-stop it, I'm going to say in the next 15-20 minutes. But if they can't, next 10 minutes they'll be stopping for their first stop, and then they'll do a quick one near the end of the race, just to be sure. That's a weird camera angle for the Boatley. It makes the car look really skinny. I don't like it. I don't like it. We're gonna go back to this view for that because I don't like that view. That's weird. Made the roof look like it was wider than the body of the car. Michael Brooks still hasn't made it past Anti-Racing yet. He's just sitting there biding his time, waiting for Anti to make a mistake. They've driven a lot against each other. I think they were on the same team last season. And I think that's why Michael wanted to drive the Radical this year, so he could be a meme and be in the only weird car. But go a little bit farther back. One of the McLarens is actually starting to push a little bit. He's caught up to Van de Ven. Mirko Fortuna's finally caught up to Van de Ven. One of the McLarens in the top 15. I think that's the first time this season we've seen a McLaren top 15. On board with the McLaren. Watch all the control, watch the steering motion, see how smooth Mirko's being just to keep up with that Porsche. He didn't lose any time though, which is weird. Breaks the draft before the last corner. See if we can get a good exit. Van de Ven getting a little bit, yeah. There's not enough draft, yeah. The straights on this track are, oh, Van de Ven going really wide. That's going to open the door for Mirko here going to turn 2. No, he's backed out. He backed out. He could have made it work, but he just was like, I don't trust this situation. I'm not going to push. Where's Jackaboy here? Jackaboy in a nice little, going to be a 3-way battle pretty soon with Camille and Johan Carlson. Come on, battle. Come up. There we go. Johan Carlson in that Corvette in front of them, the black and green Corvette, and then Camille. I can't even say that name without butchering it, so I'm not even going to try. Right behind him, but... Oh, yeah, that's what I want to say, but I'm not going to butcher it. Jack, although with all the adversity, he's pulled his way back up into P25. All that adversity, he's overcome. He's put his head back down, and he's pushing forward. Let's check on our boy. Colin is really losing a lot of pace. Ben Schooling is gone now, guys. He's 2.5 seconds ahead. He's gone. Michael Brooks is still... Oh, Jackaboy. Oh, a little bit of a tap. 3 wide. Oh, Jesus. That was good. Everybody kept it clean. A little bit of paint trade, but nothing major. Nothing major. I mean, Jack didn't lose a spot. He didn't gain or lose a spot. He just, the guys in front and behind him just swapped. Jack's just got to keep his head down and just focus, and he'll be totally fine. Let's go a little bit farther back. Raffinizio pulling up, trying to catch up to Jonas Lagesson there in front of him. Andy Birch. Lots of little battles going on all around here. All right, sorry guys. Oh, Dino's in the pits. Pit strategy starting to come out in the last 50 minutes. I don't know if he's pitting. I'm going to be pitting twice, but we will find out shortly, I'm sure. Oh, Michael Brooks getting all out of sorts on the grass. Even Anti going at it. They're not giving any quarter. Let's go back and try to find some closer battles. Jacoboy still on the back end of Camille here. They've pulled away from Jonas Lagesson, or Jesus, Johan Carlson, sorry, behind him. So they are pulling away. Oh, Jack missed. I don't know if he missed his breaking point, or if the damage from earlier, if he's got a little bit of damage, is really hurting him there. I'm not sure. Let's go on board with Massimo Sorelli here, BMW or Corvette, right behind Arcturus Kamal in that BMW in front of him. Valerio Margarito into the pits. I'm just going to refresh our overlays, guys, so that we get the some of the pit timers to go away. Thank you. Everybody doing good. There's a little bit of bumping and grinding, which is totally fine. Two teammates of Flavio and Andrea up the road, P17, P18. The closest battle right now is still this one, Michael Brooks and Anti-Rassi. Michael Brooks being tired is still showing that he's got the pace to keep up with these guys. Oh, there's a battle just in front. No. Oh, we're getting the lapped cars. People are starting to pit, so we're starting to get some lapped cars here. I wanted to find that big battle that was in front, but I can't find it. It's probably this one. Massimo Soretti. Bunch of guys still running stock liveries. Be it their first ever league or whatever, they just want to drive with stock livery. It's not a big deal. As far as I know, you don't need to have a livery to race in SRM. It's not mandatory, so. Pedro Gomez. Here we go. This is a nice little three-way battle for third place. Let's go on board with Pedro here for a second and see. Oh, and then, oh, that's a lapped car. That's Jos van der Stern in that bright orange BMW that we can see up the road. That is a blue flag. So that is going to come into play pretty quick here with this three-way battle for third. Also, these three haven't pit yet. So they're still out there on the same set of tires, and oh, Nicola having a little bit of a slide. Matteo getting a little bit of slide coming out of the corner. Coming into turn one, let's see what happens. It looks like Nikolai is sliding that car around the corners. These two have a good exit. Coming into turn two. Pedro, that was a little bit of a, that's a little bit of a server communication error on the server on my end, I think. But this is a good little battle for third place. This is Nikolai Bezrukov, Matteo Vernol, and Pedro Gomez in the BMW. So three-way battle for third, and they are coming up to lap traffic, which is going to play a very important role. Jordan Schwartz a little bit farther back. It's saying 0.3 of a second, but I know that's wrong. It's about half a second, 0.6 of a second. Rafael Nizio on the back of Jonas Lagesson here. Ben Sculian still pulling out all the stops. He's still 2 seconds ahead of Nizio up front, but the gap between second and third is massive. Who is that on the side of the track? Let's see if I can scroll down and see who was there. Somebody, Andrea Zampini's in the pits. This is Josh Vanderstern. He's got, oh no, maybe no blue flags. Maybe it was it looked like a BMW. Maybe it wasn't. Unless they've all decided to pit. Vernola's coming to the pits, so there's one of that three-way battle up front for third. So it's just the two of them now. Colin coming into some lap traffic. Yeah, that's a good spot to let them by right before turn 2. Well done to the blue flags. Vitaly Witt is on the back end of Jordan Schwartz now. Not too many good battles going on. Let's go on board with Jackaboy. Oh, Jack off track. Looks like he just rubbed the wall, didn't do anything major. He kept it out of the wall. That was good. That was good. Diving into the pits now for him. Jackaboy going in. I don't know if he's going to fix all that damage or not. I don't even know how much he's got. It didn't seem like he had too much. Colin's still on a track. Mada is still holding that 1 second gap to him. He's not letting him really get away. Everybody else is within half a second. On this track, half a second is quite a bit of space. Here's a good little three-way battle. Oh, a little bit of a love tap there as Arcturus gets a little bit out of sorts. Camille had to back off just a hair. Second chicane a little bit wider than the first chicane, kind of like the Mulsanne chicanes at Le Mans. But Arcturus having a very poor exit out of that chicane compared to Andy Birch here. Andy Birch, as I said, has driven real race cars. I don't know what kind he's driven, but he has driven real race cars. Ben Sculian has come into the pits, giving Michael Nizio the lead for the moment. Mada and Dinka actually caught up a little bit. He's caught a little bit to Colin, getting past that blue flag. Everybody's starting to spread out quite a bit now. More people dive into the pits. Like I said, I felt like it was going to be around the 40 to 45 minute mark for people to start pitting. And it looks like a lot of these guys are trying to go for the one-stop strategy. Everybody's just spreading out. This is the closest battle currently on the track. Is Mada and Dinka on Colin Sanders. Yeah, this is the closest. Oh, Sculian comes out right behind Johan Carlson. There we go. Now let's see how Ben can do in traffic. Obviously, a bunch of the guys in front of him still have to pit, but he's still got to try to make his way through the traffic. Looks like Nizio has dove into the pits. Yep. Where the heck? There's Ben. I was like, where the heck did Ben go? Oh, Jonas Lagesson gets a penalty, either cutting corners too many times or speeding in the pit lane. As I said last race, there are no live stewards. Michael Brooks did let me know that there are no live stewards. It gets stewarded after the race. So Ben Sculian making a poke up the inside. Johan just kind of gave it to him. Oh, he come into the pits this lap. That would be why. everybody in the pits now. This is gonna be where things start to get a little bit screwy. Where is Jackaboy? There he is. Okay, Jack's out with a fresh car, fresh tires, fresh fuel. He's out. He can just drive. He's got lots of clean air. Just got to keep it on track, keep his head down, and he'll be totally fine. Coming out of the pits is probably one of the nicest things, especially if you come out and have a lot of clean air in front of you. Every time I go to click on a name, there's a jumble in my live timing. Oh, this is look at this battle. This is Colin and Nizio. Nizio just came out just in front of Ben. So at the moment this is the battle for 6th. But Andy Birch and Camille have to pit still, so. But these are technically the two lead cars before pit strategy started to play. Michael Nizio in that Ferrari right in front of Ben, who we are on board with. Ben getting a little bit out of sorts, taking a little bit too much curb. As Camille dives into the pits, getting his nose out of this battle. Vernol with the new fastest lap of a 32.9 in the race. This is going to be a good battle for a good portion of this race, I think. Oh, little bit of a mistake. Andy made a little bit of a mistake, which actually is probably better for him. He's on very worn rubber at the moment, so he's obviously really struggling with pace on that regard. So it's probably better for him to not fight with these guys. I mean, it's good for him to fight with these guys, but it's better for him to not, because he's not going to use as much tire if he wants to go for a one-stop strategy, which I'm assuming he is going to try and do. As that mistake did cost him 3 spots. Matteo Vernol behind these two has actually gotten past Andy Birch at the same time, so. Madaw, looks like Madaw has come into the pits as well. Look at all the pit. Colin's in the pits. Look at all this. Look at this crap, man. Like, what is this? Schooling and Nizio still hanging out. I don't know what's going on in the pits. I don't know if they're pitting, like if they're still both pitting, or if only, I don't know. It's weird. Let's see, where is there Mirko? Is he in the battle anywhere? Kinda. It's about 7/10 away. Oh, Vitaly Vit. Oh, what happened here? Vitaly Vit and Dennis Vandeven both getting all kinds out of sorts off track. Looks like Vitaly's got some major damage now. I don't know if he hit the wall or what, but he's very slow. Fortunately for him, it looks like whatever happened to him happened on the second last corner, so he doesn't have to go all the way around the track again. Let's go back to this fight. I want to see this escalate. I want to see these guys drive like Michael Nizio and Michael Brooks did last race. I want to see how it goes, because it was awesome. It was awesome to watch last week. I still don't know, as an update, I still don't know if they are doing a remake race or if they're just going to leave it. That I'm not sure about. Next race I should have, if I'm streaming the next race, I should have the update on that for you guys. I'm hoping. Colin is Colin's back out in 6th place, so he's actually gained a spot from where he started. I don't know who the other guy was that was in the pits with him. So I wouldn't be able to tell you. He's got Francesco Bernardi right behind him in that R8, but Colin being on, he's got a lap on the fresh tires now, so they should be up to temp. And now he can push, and it looks like he does have more pace than Francesco behind him. So, and I'm not sure if Francesco is pitted yet. Van der Sturen. That is a bright car. That is a very bright car. So Pedro, the lead car, has made it past Jacoboy. However, Pedro still has to pit, so if it were me, I wouldn't fight him. I would just let him drive away because he still has to pit. But if he can make a pass on him, then definitely do it. Sculian is still behind Nizio, and I wonder if those two are going to be able to one-stop it. Here we go, Tomas and Jonas Lagesson. Let's see if Tomas can make up any lost time here. Taking a peek up the inside. Is he going to be able to make it stick? Not quite. Has to check up a little bit. It looked like, from the looks of the timing, it looks like Mada, when he pitted, actually had a worse pit stop than Colin because he's lost a lot of ground to Colin Sanders there. Nice move up the inside by Tomas on Jonas Lagesson there. Very well done. Very respectful by both drivers. Going forward with Jacoboy. He's actually got a nice little tow partner here because he's actually, this is actually helping him catch up to his position cars up in front of him with that little bit of a draft off of that BMW. It's helping him catch up to Massimo Sorelli and Andy Birch in front of him. So oh, Vitaly Witt has DNF'd. He has pulled out of this race after all that damage. Sculian he's lost a little bit of time to Nizio. He's about 6/10 behind now. Still just keeping there, not losing too much. Here's Mada back in 10th place, holding on, holding strong to a top 10 in that big boatly around this tight track. Anti-Rassi is catching up to new driver Roman. I'm not going to try to say his last name because I will butcher it. Andrea Zampini on the back of Dennis Van de Ven now. The Team Future drivers in all kinds of battles all over the track. Be it Team Future Red or just Team Future, they're in all kinds of battles. And then we have Massimo Sorelli pushing Andy Birch, and then Jacoboy is just in the background there behind the lead car, which is actually good for him because that lead car might be like a couple tenths faster, but because Jack has the draft, he's able to keep up with them, and it's actually helping him catch this group, which is going to be very, very nice. BMW getting all kinds of out of sorts. All kinds of out of sorts? Jeez, I can't talk today. He's doing the smart thing, just kind of hanging out behind them. Don't push too hard. Yeah, now this is where it's going to be very important. Jack has got to, if that BMW makes a move, on these lapped cars, Jack can follow him through. Oh, Jack losing a little bit of a braking point. That extra draft in the dirty air there. Blue flags getting let through, or blue flags getting let through. Leader getting let through by the blue flags. And Jack, looks like Jack's got some, he's got Michael Nizio and Ben Sculian coming up right behind him. They have made a lot of time up on Pedro Gomez. So there's Jack. Okay, so we're on board with Ben. The Ferrari in front of him is Michael Nizio, and then Jackaboy is in that Corvette just in front of Michael Nizio, who is in a battle at the moment with Andy Birch. So Jack's got to let the lead cars by, and he gets a free spot because of it. Well done. Very good move. Now it's going to be all about where he lets Ben through, so he doesn't lose too much time. And Gomez is in the pits now. So your two lead cars are Nizio and Sculian, and Jack having, actually that was very good spot for Jack to let Sculian by. And Andy Birch is getting passed by more lead cars here. We have the lead car of, or the third place car of Matteo Vernol now making his way through the back markers. His next one being Jackaboy. Yep. Very respectful. Good job. Made it very aware where he was putting that R8 of his. Colin Sanders here, kind of all by himself. He's just kind of in no man's land. He's got a 19-second gap to Nikolai in front of him. He's sitting pretty in 5th place though, and he's got a 2-second gap to Francesco Bernardi behind him. So as long as he just keeps racing the way he's racing, he'll be totally fine. I want to go back to this little. Oh no, wait, we got to go back farther because Andy Birch. Here we go. Here's another three-way battle. We got Andy Birch, or we're on board with Tomas Golab right now at the moment. We have Andre Kananowicz in front of him in the McLaren 720, and then we got Andy Birch in front of him in the black and red Porsche. So let's see how we do here. There's going to be some interesting... Oh, Andre going a little bit wide. So does Andy going off track a little bit wide there. Tomas gets a free spot, but he's still making it work. Andre backs out going into the fast left-hand kink. Still sticking on Tomas's butt there. He's not letting him get away. Looks like he might be on the faster tires, but I'm not sure. Tomas really abusing those curbs, really using the track limits to its limit. If you guys come down and hear me say abuse the curbs, I literally mean do what he's doing. Where it's almost all, literally in some cars, you can throw all 4 tires over the curb in these cars, and that is legal. It just depends. I know in Europe, the track limits are a little more lenient than over here in North America, as a lot of people are finding out on North American tracks. But Tomas taking a peek up the inside on Andy Birch there. A little bit too far away to make anything work, but nothing hindering him. Looks like we've still only had 2 DNFs. Nothing major. Nothing like Le Mans. That's good. That means the server's holding its own. With Andre going way wide in turn 1. Just forgot to brake. Let's go back on board with Ben Sculian here as he's keeping about a half-second gap. He's not letting him out of his sights. We got 25-ish minutes left, or 26 minutes left, so we just gotta, let's ride with Mada here. See how we can do against this BMW of Jos van der Steen. This is the battle for 7th place. Oh, Merkel Fortuna has DNF. That's our 3rd DNF of this race. Lots of people going off on turn 1. just pushing a little bit too hard. Oh, Colin Sanders is gonna have some competition here pretty soon as Francesco Bernardi starts to pull up. Jordan Schwartz is hot on the heels of Pedro Gomez as he has a little bit of a bobble touching the grass on the right hand side, causing him to have to lift quite a bit sooner. Let's go aboard Jack as he goes for a move on Massimo Sorelli, throwing it up the inside on the last corner. Very well done. That was for P19. Jackaboy making his way back through the ranks, slowly but surely. I'm not sure if he's going to have to pit again for fuel, as he did pit pretty early to fix some damage and stuff. So we'll see how he does. He is holding strong. He has pulled back from P30, or starting P12 or P14, and going all the way back down to P30, 31 with all the shenanigans at the start of the race. He's now back up into P19, so he's really showing that no matter what the adversity is, you can, as Destin goes into the pits, Andre is DNF'd. Madaw's losing a little bit of time to the BMW in front of him. Oh, no. The BMW has come into the pits. Yes, he has. What is that? That's unfortunate. I think there's going to be a lot of steward inquiries about the pit lane on this track, but that'll get dealt with after the race. Tomas Golab, we just had a whole bunch more DNFs. What happened? We just had 2 more that lap DNF. Tomas and Andre Kananowicz DNF'd. Where is the closest race? Not Dastan. Jackaboy is starting to pull away from Massimo now. He's pulled about a 1.5 second gap after getting past him. Jordan Schwartz has now DNF'd. What is going on today? Oh, here we go. Dino has caught up to Dennis Van de Ven. I think Dino is behind him, so technically Van de Ven is past Dino. So pardon me for getting that wrong. Francesco Bernardi is slowly but surely reeling in Colin Sanders here. Let's see what happens. If he can make it, if he can make a move, or if he's just gonna be patient and bide his time. You can see that gap. Colin is 36 seconds off the lead car, and he's 21 seconds behind 4th place. So if he can hold on to this position and not make any mistakes, he should be able to hold on to P5. Then that'll be a very good points haul for him. Sculian right on the back end of Michael Nizio. These two are having a good little race. We're gonna go on board with Pedro Gomez as he's caught up to Antirassi here. And then they got the battle for 6th. Oh no, this is the battle for 8th, and then Mada is right in front of them for 7th place. So, and Mada is catching up to Jos van der Sturten, which is actually a blue flag, so that's going to come into play. Pedro a little bit better on the brakes going into this sector. Getting a little bit better run. He's got the inside line. It is starting to rain as well. That is going to play a massive role into how this race goes. People are going to have to start pitting for the wet tires or the intermediate tires. It is raining. Let's go on. Let's do this. As you can see, the raindrops falling. People are starting to pit 4 tires, so if you stay out, I don't know how wet the track is, but if they stay out too much longer and if it keeps raining, it's going to become very difficult for these guys to stay out on these slick tires. They are going to have to pit for the wets. Go on board with Jack here for a second. It doesn't look like it's raining super hard, but it does. Oh, no way. I wonder if that happened to... It must have happened again for a couple other guys too, because it was like 3 or 4 people all DNF within like 2 laps. Kind of like last week. I don't know if slicks are going to go to the end of the race. They might. I mean, you would know better than me. You were just on the track, so. Oh. Pedro making a pass on Madal. Oh, yeah. It's starting to get slick. They're starting to push a little bit hard. Oh, yeah. I know people are crashing the whole race, dude. It's just been insane with the crashes. There were so many happening at the same time, I couldn't even think to catch them all. This is the battle for 6th. For 6th. Okay, cool. So we'll say people probably start to pit for wet tires if the rain keeps up. If Jordan is correct, if the rain keeps up, we will probably see people pitting with about 10 to 12 minutes left, I'm going to assume. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Anti-Rassi is slowly trying to reel these guys in. Slowly trying to reel them in. Arcturus, this is a good little battle for 18th. Arcturus Kamal and Jonas Lagesson here. Oh, yeah. The slicks are kind of showing their wear and tear now. That looked a little bit iffy. It looked like he was going to hit the back end of Jonas, but... At least it wasn't raining. It wasn't raining like Le Mans was last weekend. Or last week. Yeah, Arcturus is struggling to hold that car on the racing line. Looks like Ben is kind of losing pace to Michael Nizio here. They're going to play off each other, I think. Oh, as we have a car off the track. Waiting for everybody to go by. Well done. I think that was... No, I don't know who that was. That's a car. Oh, that was Valerio Margarito. We haven't seen him. Le Mans is awesome. I love Le Mans. It's a good track no matter what's going on. Okay, back to Ben and Nizio. The Porsche? Oh, for sure. I think a few of the cars were probably way more stable in the wet than they are in the dry. Because I noticed the Porsche for everybody, they were quite a bit quicker than every other car. When you look at how slow they were compared to their dry laps. Yeah, it looks like it's raining pretty hard. Like, it's not coming down lightly. It's coming down pretty hard. It's gonna be, I think the last like 10 minutes people will pit for tires, I think. Sounds like, yeah, Jackaboy has hit the pits. And because people are not allowed to leave the server, when they DNF or whatever, they're not allowed to leave the server unless they get disconnected. Some of them are actually sitting outside in the middle of the pit stalls. So Michael Brooks on an Arcturus Kamal here. Michael Brooks just getting a nice free pass. Arcturus just letting him go, not trying too hard. Yeah, it's definitely getting slippery. Everybody's getting on the power a little bit too soon, coming out of those chicanes, and they're whee. Andrea Zampini looks like diving in for the wet tires. Yep, that's definitely going to be the call, I think. Yeah, Nitzio's gone in for pit. Look at the pit stalls, dude. This is just a nightmare. Like, look at that. I hope Michael and Dino and them all go back and look at the this. I'm gonna leave some of this up on the stream. I know they're gonna go look at the replay after, but I'm gonna leave some of it up on stream if they're watching it. But yeah, that is gotta be the worst thing ever. It looks like, I don't know if Ben's gonna stay out. Arcturus is coming in for wets. Michael Brooks still out on the slick tires here. This is where we're gonna see Andrea Zampini just came out on the wet tires, so it's gonna be interesting to see if Michael doesn't go in this lap, how much time Zampini makes on Michael Brooks. Colin Sanders also diving into the pits, opting for to go for the wet tires. This is an interesting way to end the race. The last 20 minutes and we start to get a downfall or a downpour. That is awesome. Jackaboy looks like he's... Oh no, Jack went into the pits and got wet tires, so he's out on wet tires. Colin come out in a good spot. Only lost 2 spots going into pit for wets, because I'm assuming all he did was put tires on. He must have had enough fuel. And then Matteo Vernol doing the same thing. Oh, Dino, the founder and organizer of Sim Racing Mania, gets a penalty in his own league. Dino. Oh, well, I'll bug him after. It's going to be funny. As I was saying, Colin only lost 2 spots. There's lots of laying water on the track now, yeah. It's coming down pretty hard. This is a back marker for Colin, so this BMW should just let him by. Rafa Nizio passing some back markers. Is that a back marker? Whoa, what happened there? A back marker, that's going to be looked into. That was, I don't know what happened there, but the back marker went into a blue flag car, which, as we just see Dino go by. Andy Birch out here all alone. Looks like Ben, I don't think he's pitted for wet tires. I'm pretty sure he has not pitted for wet tires. He's just staying out on these tires and hoping that they're going to get him to the end of the race. I mean, there is 12 minutes. The longer he stays out on these tires, if he does decide to go into the pits, it's going to hurt him even more. Madan Dinka going into the pits. Just going to refresh the overlay page here for you guys. I wonder if Ben's going to pit. I mean, I think he should. Like, that, there's a lot of water on track now. I think the wet tires are going to be his thing. Because, I mean, back markers are starting to pass him on the wet tires. Yeah, he's got a pit. Yeah, there he goes. But that might hurt him. He might come out in a really crappy spot. So Pedro's got a nice little battle going on with Nikolai Bezrikov here, with all kinds of spray in his face. The last 11 minutes, we'll see what happens. Looks like Jackaboy's back up into P15. All the shenanigans earlier on in the race. Oh, Ben pitted and put the wrong tires on. Jackaboy gets pushed off track, I'm assuming, into turn 1. I hope you guys can't hear him because he's cussing up a storm out there right now. Pedro, oh, somebody backed out on the track is what I'm hearing from him. Colin Sanders up into P5, and he's right on the back of Roman, who is on slick tires. Colin being on the wets, easily going to make this pass done. The wet tires easily proving to be Ben Skillian pitted, and he's, oh, poor guy. He pitted and put the wrong tires on. I hope in your driver's meeting with him, Jordan, since you guys are on the same team, I hope you laugh at him a little bit, because if he was my teammate, I would really make him feel bad. Colin up into P4 with Ben pitting, so that's going to be a nice big points haul. Massimo Sorelli apparently is only half a second behind Jackaboy, but I don't think that's right, because Jackaboy is not in this picture. Jack is way up the road. That's okay. Jack didn't lose his spot though. Oh, Jack going a little bit wide. He's gonna have damage. I'm assuming he's got damage. Yeah, he's pitting to fix it. Oh, did Ben DNF? Jordan, did Ben DNF? He didn't. He's showing as he's in the garage. It's like, yeah, guys pushing a little bit too hard, especially when it's freaking raining out. Yeah, Ben did DNF. Oh, no way. Well, we got a good little battle. This is Jonas Lagesson and Johan Carlson. Porsche versus Corvette. Let's see what happens. And they got a little bit of traffic. Is he going to make the pass stick? No, he backs out a little bit. This is going to be a good little battle. Looks like Ben did DNF. Yeah. Unfrickin' fortunately. This is a good little battle with Jonas Lagesson and Johan Carlson. And they got Raffinizio coming up behind them too. Last 8 minutes, 7.5 minutes of race, and they are, some of these guys are starting to put on a little bit of the afterburners. Oh, here we go. Here's, oh no! Matteo Vernol gets taken out by a back marker that got a little bit squirrely touching the grass. Was in a good fight with Mada and Dinka there for P7. That is very, very unfortunate. I think the stewards are going to be very, very busy after this race. That is for sure. Roman having his first race out, and he's actually up into P6, his first race in this series, showing what he can do and what he's made of. All right, back on with Jonas Lagesson here. He's trying to make that move in the same spot. He's not giving up this time. He's going to push it all the way around. Try not to hit the curb in the wet. All that spray. It looks like it might have stopped raining. Oh, Pedro Gomez is DNF now. I honestly thought they missed their their turn for a second there. I thought it was the first road. Haven't driven this track in a long time. This is a good little battle between Carlson and Lagesson here. And Rafa Nizio is catching right up. And I think they're coming into... Oh, Michael Brooks is caught up to the pack now too. And they're catching up. Are they catching up to Massimo Soretti? No, that's a back marker in front of them. So this is the blue flag. Oh, here we go. Yeah, that is a blue flag. He needs to pull over and let these guys by. Oh. Oh, that was Massimo Sorelli. These two having a good fight. Making some moves. Massimo's struggling. I don't know if he's still on the... It looks like he's still on slicks. Johan Carlson is still holding off Lagesson for the moment. There we go, that's better. Francesco Bernardi. Oh, this is still the battle to be had, and Michael Brooks has really joined in. He's got a front row seat, so if either of these two make a mistake, Michael's going to be right there to capitalize. How many DNFs have we had? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 DNFs. Oh, and it's starting to rain again. The last 5 minutes showing to be very interesting. Michael Brooks just biding his time, waiting for these two to make a mistake just like that. Carlson goes wide into turn 1, giving a free spot to Lagesson and Michael Brooks. And now I do believe these are back markers in front of them. Oh, no, it's not. The one was a back marker. Right on board with Lagesson as he comes up to Andy Birch. Making the pass to the inside. It looks like he's on hard tires still. Why did he not pit? I don't know. Here we go. Michael Brooks is putting the pressure on now. Let's see what happens. Can he make a move going into the second chicane? Poking up the outside. Oh no! Big crash. Lagesson goes in a little bit too deep and gives a free spot to Michael Brooks. He's going to have a lot of damage after that crash. Head on into that metal tire. Well, I guess it's a tire barrier, but it looked like a piece of metal because it didn't move. He just hit it and came to a complete stop. It's all kicking off the last little bit of this race. Colin Sanders up into P3 with people pitting up in front of him. It's going to be a podium for Colin. 2 minutes left. He's going to have, he's just went around turn 1, so he's got 2 laps. Jackaboy. Oh, Jackaboy is out, back on track. His damage and stuff is all fixed now, so he's back out on track. P23, so. But Colin here in P3. Just bringing it home. He's got a massive gap. He's got a 23-second gap to the guy behind and a 21-second gap to the car in front. So he's not worried about pushing. He just wants to get the car home in one piece. And then everybody else is kind of just spread out, just kind of trying to get the car home in one piece by the looks of it. Not too much going on at the moment. Michael Nizio is going to get a very well-earned win here. and unless he spins out. I'm not going to jinx it, but he's driving very, very clean, very smooth. If he doesn't make any mistakes, he will have a very, very well-earned win. And then Nikolai Bezrikov in the Weeb Mobile, the anime livery, in second place. As long as he doesn't make any mistakes on this last lap, he will bring home his first podium of the season, and Colin Sanders will bring home his first podium of the season. He's been very close a couple times, and this will be his first one of the season. So, yeah, but I'm saying in race podium, yeah. Everybody's just so spread out. Anti-Rassi coming across the line to start his last lap. Mada and Dinka coming around the start and finish straight to start his last lap. Oh, Matteo Vernol getting all kinds out of sorts. Hits that curb a little bit too greedily in the wet. He's caught up to Dennis Van de Ven as they come around the last corner to start their last lap here. Jesus. Jackaboy coming into the chicane. Just keep it on track. No. Massimo off track. Massimo's still on the slick tires. No wonder he's having a hard time keeping that car on the track. Arcturus Kamal getting the checkered flag. Oh no, these guys should still be racing, I think, because Nizio has not. Oh, Nizio has finished. So Nizio taking home his first win of the season. Nikolai Bezrikov in the garage, but he finished second. And Colin Sanders coming across the line in third place. His first official podium of the season. As Howard said, yes, he did get awarded a podium after Le Mans because of all the penalties and the server issues and all that stuff. But this is his first official podium of the season. So as Jackaboy and Colin, they're going to do a little victory lap. Well raced to everybody. The beginning was a little bit sketchy. Colin's gonna do some drifting. Yeah, there we go. Oh, T-bones the wall. Is Jackaboy gonna try it? Let's see. Oh, yeah, get the spin, get the kickback. A little bit of a celebration at the end there, guys. Oh, that was awesome. Oh, Colin's gonna just give Jack a little love tap there. Well done to both of our drivers. Well done to every driver. Congrats to Michael Nizio for his podium, or his first win. Congrats to Nikolai Bezrikov for his second place, and congratulations to Colin for his first podium of the season. Let's go! Yes, let's go Tracksvr. That's a good points haul. This race, I feel like the stewards are really going to have their hands full. Just be it with the pitting shenanigans that were happening, with the DNF drivers being in the pit stalls of other drivers, so they couldn't actually pit properly, or whatever. It's going to be looked at for that, and then all the incidents on lap 1. As we know, we have the orange zone rule, or they have the orange zone rule, which is basically in that zone on the first lap, things will be judged harsher. So I feel like I'm going to be going through a lot of penalties for this race. Hey, Michael. But thanks so much for watching, everybody. We had some supporters for Team Renegade and some supporters for Mada in the chat. I know Nick, Toe, and Hang On have been here.
Send us
Dino
a subscribe.
Dino Faldetta was here earlier on. Yeah, for those of you that aren't subscribed, if you did enjoy it, please subscribe. We just hit 80 subscribers today. We're trying to hit 100 subscribers before the end of the season. So you got 6 more races? No, we have 8 races, I think. I think it's 8 races. So you got 5 more races. So you got 5 weeks. We're trying to get 100 by the end of the season. So that's 20 subscribers in 5 weeks. You got 4 subscribers a week. That's actually a pretty easy goal to hit. So please tell your friends, tell the other guys, anybody that you know that wants to come watch. Howard won't have to come beat me for not getting 100 subscribers. So help me out, guys, please. Thank you to our sponsors, the FM40s podcast, like I mentioned at the beginning of the stream. Great for people in their 40s, people that love to hear about new music, talent coming up through the ranks, just like to listen or hear about music in general, things going on around the world. If you're a podcast person, definitely go check them out or go listen to them. Check them out, listen to them. Yeah. You know, something like that, yeah. Give them a listen. There we go. Give them a listen. Leanne is awesome, and her whole crew is great. So give them a listen. And our second sponsor, Hotel Blackfoot. If you're ever in Calgary, Alberta, and you want to come down and visit us, Hotel Blackfoot is great. They're 5 minutes up the road. Great personnel, great service, great rooms, good prices, great food. Give them a chat or come on down. Stay there. You're 5 minutes away. You could walk here if you wanted to. And definitely go from there. I'm going to pass you over to Howard just in case he's got any final words that I haven't mentioned, and then we'll do the final goodbyes at the end of the stream.
Hey, race fans! Now you can actually hear me instead of hearing the disembodied voice. The background noise, as Rick said. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for supporting. Again, I'd say it all the time, but the work that goes into what these guys do as sim racers, there's a lot of work and underpaid and unappreciated work for the most part. But we love you all, and we want to see you guys, love what you do, and we love what we do, and let's get some more supporters for sim racing. That was an exciting race. Like Rick said, I think there's going to be a lot of marshalling. So sounds like SRM, you've got your work cut out for you in figuring out how that race went. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you guys back next week, and we'll continue streaming on YouTube, and check out our social media. We'd love a like, subscribe, follow, what have you. It helps us, and if you help us, then sim racing will be out there, and we'll have more content. So. Again, thank you so much to everyone involved, and I love you all.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe. Keep an eye on our social media, Facebook at Tracksvr, Instagram at Tracksvr, TikTok at Tracksvr. And we're starting to sell merch online pretty soon, so keep your eye on that. We'll be posting when we go live on our Facebook and Instagram and all that stuff. So definitely go check that out. As Howard said, it'll be international, not just Canada. So go check that out when we go live. And like I said, we'll be posting it on our social media and stuff when we do that. So, but thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I sure enjoyed it. I enjoy racing. I enjoy all kinds of racing. So anybody else that does usually enjoys just watching it regardless. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys all next week. Where are we going next week? I don't even remember. But I'll see you guys next week with all that information. And have a good night or a good morning, wherever the heck you are. I know in the UK it's probably like 11 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 11 o'clock, or 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night. So everybody else is beyond that. But have a good night. Have a good morning. Have a